Welcome into the live stream here from McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal. That's Tyler.
What it is, sir?
How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. It felt weird to have 3 o'clock today. It's like I had a whole extra hour in my day at the first part, because I usually, when we have the show, I'll go till about 12:30, prep for the show, come to the show, go back and work.
Yes.
And so I had a whole extra hour to go to do work, and then I'll come back. So probably will take an hour off of my night. So excited about that.
You got a Christmas party tonight.
A Christmas concert.
Christmas concert.
I said party earlier.
You did say party.
I meant, as soon as you said that,
So
I
is
said
this
I did
a child's concert?
Yes, one of the kiddos, man. It's December. The rumor has it is that 1 week from today, Santa Claus
takes off.
Will be flying around for all the little kiddos.
Yep, it's true.
And we're big Santa Claus fans here on the show.
Absolutely.
Especially considering our age demographics is still blows my mind on TikTok. We're still 18 to 24, number one demographic on TikTok, which is crazy.
There you go.
Got all of our youngsters, all our gen.
Supposedly, we're doing really well with college kids.
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it?
How about that?
How about that?
How about that?
How about that?
I'm not surprised.
How about that?
I mean, I'm around college kids a lot. I can kind of relate to college age kids. Caroline's home now, back from Arkansas. Her friend Sophia just got here a little while ago.
Well,
they're going out in Oxford tonight. I think Ella's coming too. Another one of her friends getting here a little later. Hanging out for a couple of days.
I saw the Coyote parking lot out there.
Yep, it's going to be.
I parked back 4 miles. I'm going to stretch to get back to my car.
Going to have a little. Going to be a little bit of a parking situation for the next few days.
I couldn't imagine.
Campbell comes home Thursday.
Love it.
So we got a lot going on.
Love it. Let's roll, dog.
Right, here we go.
I see our guys are already here. I think he's fresh. I think he was out there fixing the pool earlier.
All right, we'll get rolling.
All right, let's do it.
Welcome into episode 247 of McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal McCready. That is Tyler Siskey here on this Tuesday, December 17th. One final week up at the North Pole for them to put the final touches on everything they need for the big trip. Santa and Rudolph and Donner and Blitzen, Comet, Cupid, all those reindeer.
Not the order I would have gone in, but that was pretty impressive.
Let me see if I can pull it off. It's
maybe we should get AJ to sing his carols.
We'll see if AJ can name the reindeer.
All right, that's a good trivia.
Don't
question.
Google it.
Don't Google. Don't be cheating.
Google.
If you can hear, do not cheat.
Because I can
He
almost.
will cheat too.
Oh, I know. You can see.
He'll have it pulled on his phone, and he'll be looking at us, and he'll go. See what happened was.
Yeah.
He'll cheat.
We're brought to you by Rain Total Body Fuel, 300 milligrams natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. Check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
Scoops, I'm rocking with the peach nectarine. The peach nectarine. I don't know if AJ knows this or not, but being from the great state of Alabama, peach nectarine, this rainstorm peach nectarine tastes like a Chilton County peach located right here in one said can. It is great. So I encourage everybody to go try them a rainstorm peach nectarine. Scoops, AJ, the Cooper Chevrolet chat is already bumping. We're ready to go today and remind everybody, check this out. It's Cooper Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Hyundai, added Hyundai to the mix and GMC to the mix this week. How about this? First big GMC ad right there for Cooper Chevrolet. We got the Cooper Chevrolet GMC. You can get 0%. That's right, 0% APR on all new 2024 GMC Sierras 1500s, plus no payments for 90 days. Call our good friends at Cooper Chevrolet at area code 256-236-4481. That's area code 256-236-4481. Scoops were also brought to you by our good friend Brandon and our people at PTG Outdoors. They are a Camus boats dealer. They have both fresh and saltwater boats. They sell and service Mercury outboards. They do custom marine electronic installations with Garmin, Humminbird, and Lowrance products. You can get all of your fishing needs and custom golf cart retrofits, where they replace all of the batteries with a single lithium battery. Located in the great city of Grenada, Mississippi. Make sure it's Christmas season. Make sure you go get your favorite outdoors person something for Christmas from ptgoutdoors.com. How we doing, my friend?
Doing great. Doing great here on this Tuesday. AJ McCarron joins again. AJ back as if yesterday wasn't enough torture for him. We dragged him back for another day. Tyler wants to let's get to it though.
Yeah, well, we got a serious question for you here.
Let's
okay,
see.
Serious.
No,
okay?
no cheating.
No cheating.
Can we name Santa's reindeer?
No, not a chance in hell.
All right, so let me see if I can do it. There's Dancer and Prancer, Donner and Blitzen.
No, that's the order I'm going to.
Comet, Cupid.
Wait, who'd you say first?
There's Dancer and Dasher, Prancer and Blitzen.
And then Rudolph.
Comet and Cupid.
And then Rudolph.
Donner and Blitzen.
And then Rudolph.
And then Rudolph. Rudolph's up front.
Do you know the most famous reindeer of all?
So why should he be the most famous, by the way?
Because he's got the red nose.
The red nose.
He did overcome a lot of adversity.
Yeah, he came over.
He was getting
he
picked
stood
on,
up.
you know?
Yeah.
They didn't let him play the reindeer games.
He turned the page on the bullies. He turned the page.
He did.
He said,
Yeah,
no
he was
more.
the freeze of reindeer.
So what do you...
I can't have two. Look. I've managed to go 246 episodes.
I knew Scoops would like that.
I was able to handle one of y'all, and I got two now. Two hit me. Look, man, y'all.
I'm just saying. Everybody's picking on him. He goes out, pays Jackson Arnold $3 million. Hell, we're right back in. He's leading the fucking sleigh. We're going out in the middle of the night. We're flying to everybody now. All right.
Yep.
Send money. It's Rudolph.
Hey, what was it? EJ McCarron.
Yeah. Somebody hit Hugh Freeze up and tell him I'm ready.
Tell EJ McCarron. EJ McCarron, ready to roll?
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, great.
All right. You're in the state of Alabama. Is there panic in the state of Alabama today over all of the rumors about the entire Alabama team getting into the transfer portal? I mean, what's going on, and how's everybody handling this first taste in 20 years of the way the other half lives?
So it's funny you ask. I was working out this morning before I had to go meet some agents we're trying to hire for our real estate company. And I had a guy come up, supposedly he's best friends with Ryan Williams. And
is these days.
He's 17.
Yeah. But supposedly he's really good friends with him, and saying that, he hasn't signed his scholarship, basically papers for next year. And he's going in after the bowl game and is going to ask for $10 million for the next 2 years, $10 million a year.
I had this conversation this morning with somebody.
Quit.
Hold on.
So that's what he said.
I had this conversation. This is for both of you. Let's be serious for a minute. Hold on. No, let's be serious for a minute.
I'm listening. I'm just distraught.
If you're a college football player who's any good, I don't care where you are. Pick a school, any school, I don't care. You're any good. Given the numbers that are flying around right now, don't you basically have to look your people in the eye and go, hey, I got to see what's out there? Don't you?
I'm with you, all right? I'm with you. 100% agree, okay?
I mean, anywhere. Ohio State. Yes.
And that's what's going to happen, right?
Tennessee, Clemson. I mean, if you're Nico, I can't say his last name. If whoever, don't you have to go, hey, listen, I got to kind of see what's out. I mean, right? I mean, it's your one.
Yes.
So, like Kyle,
you got to test the market.
Kyle Tucker was asked today, got traded from the Astros to the Cubs the other day, and he was asked, hey, are you open to an extension? And his answer was basically, well, I mean, yeah, but come on. Right? I mean, you got a chance to go to free agency as a coveted player.
All right.
If you're Ryan Williams, I'm not saying you don't stay at Alabama. I'm not saying that at all. But don't you have to kind of say to Alabama, hey, look, I gotta see what's out there, and then I'll come back to you. And if you want to match it, cool. Right?
All right, here's a nickel's worth of free advice, okay? Nickel's worth of free advice. And I'm glad we're talking about this because I got somewhere exactly where I want to go with AJ on this. We got the perfect person on the podcast right now. Here's a nickel worth of free advice. And this guy right here got this advice. How old are you now? You're 33 or 34?
34.
Good God, son, you're getting old. He got this advice about 17 years ago, probably when Ryan Williams was born. Okay, this other asshole over here. Not see, y'all are the assholes. I'm the nice guy. This other asshole over here, he got this advice about 17 years ago. Here's a nickel's worth of free advice for anybody that knows Ryan Williams. Okay, I don't know the kid. AJ may know him. I don't even know. He's from Mobile, Saraland.
Yep.
Is you have to understand. I think if he going into the portal and all that stuff, before you do that, you got to be very careful. If you're Ryan Williams, you need to be very careful and very laser guided on how you approach this. You don't just go because little Johnny down at the corner in Saraland wants you to go get in the portal because you're here and you're going to get all these numbers and ask for it. You need to go and make sure you have positive, constructive conversations with the University of Alabama and their money people before anything's gone in. 2 is this. The amount of money, $10 million, nobody's going to pay him $10 million a year, $5 million a year, whatever. If Alabama, he's going to make plenty of money, plenty. They're going to pay him market value and then some. Here's what he needs to be careful of. Kid is from Alabama. He's from Mobile, Alabama. Sooner or later, at some point in time, football that's the one thing we all have in common, okay? Every person that you, me, AJ, we all get told we can't play anymore. Some of us get told sooner than others, but we all get told. And so he needs to understand there's going to be a life after football and his market value inside that state. I'm going to tell you the same, Ryan Williams, if you're listening, I'm going to tell you the same advice I gave this asshole about 17 years ago when you were born. I said, AJ, I said, sooner or later, you're going to have to cash your Alabama card in. That's all I know, because he liked Miami and he likes me. I said, sooner or later, you can cash your Alabama card in.
Oh, I get it, and I agree with you.
You got to understand from a long-term perspective.
I understand.
Don't let the forest get in the way of the trees. Don't cost yourself. I mean, this guy can have like hundreds of millions of dollars of a career, or he can make an emotional decision and not a business decision. He's 17 years old, which means he is not legally an adult yet. He's not legally adult. And if anybody around him is advising him to leave, which I'm just saying, if this is out there too,
I mean, I've told him
they should be fired immediately.
I've told him that, look, there's a chance to build his own legacy at ULM. I've told him that. Now, I don't know that it's going to happen. I don't know that he's going to Monroe. He's like, hey, I'm really intrigued by Bayou to Seared. I'm like, you should be. It's incredible. All that. We had that conversation. But all jokes aside, he also can watch the game on Sunday between Detroit and Buffalo and see the guy get his leg completely turned in a way that legs aren't supposed to get turned and go, this is a violent game. It could happen to me. All I'm saying, and I'm not even, this isn't advising. It's not even, I'm using him as an example, but this really applies to everyone. If the numbers are going to be like this, and there's nothing preventing you from constantly going and getting your market value, I don't know how you could advise someone not to get it.
I'm sure his friends talking, I would be just the numbers from that position. I would be shocked, beyond shocked, if he got anything north of $1.5 million.
Okay.
For that position.
From what I've heard, he's already up there.
Again, I would be beyond shocked. I
wouldn't be.
And for a wide receiver of his deal to get over $1.5 million when it really comes to the freaking deal, I would be surprised.
I would not be.
I would.
I've already heard he's north of 1.5.
That's what, again, when it all that, like I'd like to see the deal. Now I know that I know some that are getting about $1 million. Okay. And I get that, but rev share is real. Rev share is real. There is a cap to it, for whatever you want to call it. I would be shocked at a player at his position to get.
Is there a cap?
Yeah, there's technically.
But there's not a real one. There's not a real one. There's not.
They're going to sue on one. So yes, there is technically a cap. That's what they're suing on, or they're going to go to court back on. So
What
they're
I'm,
gonna call
no,
it a cap.
no. That you're talking about the cap from
I said a rev share cap.
from an ownership standpoint.
I said a rev share
yes,
cap.
yes. But there's not an earnings cap.
That's what I said. I said there's a rev share cap.
Right. What I'm saying is a guy like him, I think he is a bit of a unicorn.
Oh, he's a unicorn, all right.
And I think he can go get what he wants. I think he can go name his price. And so the only way to get that price, I mean, I'm not advocating. I'm just saying
He needs to tread very lightly.
I'm just saying if I were one of these stars, kids that are unicornish, man, it'd be really hard for me not to say I'm getting in the market. I got to see what the market bears.
He needs to tread very lightly.
Juan Soto doesn't get 765 without getting into the market. He doesn't go to the Yankees last year and go, all
right, back to your point. You said, hey, he watches these games, he sees people get hurt, right?
Yeah.
He goes in the portal and goes somewhere, and that happens to him. He costs himself fucking millions of dollars, because if that happens at the University of Alabama, guess what? He's going to get taken care of. That happens at I'm just throwing this out there. I do not know. I'm just saying Ohio State. That ain't going to happen in Alabama.
You said
no. He would. It's different, and then you see people in the comments talking about it. But they're obviously not from Alabama or definitely never played. I don't know any of these names. They haven't played at Alabama with me. So I promise you, if you graduate and play at the University of Alabama, you get taken care of and looked out for when it comes to business and everything outside of football for the rest of your life. That's why I tell every kid, like I talk to, I mean, if you're deciding between Alabama and Auburn itself, and listen, I loved Al Borges was recruiting me at Auburn, loved him. You know, Tubbs was recruiting me, and then Gus was there, and hell, I love Gus to death, but I wouldn't choose Auburn over Alabama just because of the fan base and what the weight it carries. Life after football. Do what?
About to get a.
What?
He's saying
Nothing.
saying Auburn chance. Go ahead.
Oh. But I'm just saying life after football is something that the weight of Alabama carries much farther and greater than a lot of other universities around this country. So if he can sit there and make $2 million to play at Alabama, I'd take that $2 million. And I understand, like, I would test the market from a sense of making them see, just like coaches negotiate. Hey, I'm thinking about going to interview here, and that would be my approach on how I take it to the money people, Coach DeBoer, whoever, and then see what they offer. And really, coaches do it all the time just to get a pay raise, or just so take that approach to it.
All right, so here's what I'm going. This is, again, nickel's worth of free advice, okay? It's not going to cost you a dime, and it's going to be better advice than what you're paying for, Mr. Ryan Williams. I have no problem with him, quote-unquote, testing the market to find out what his value is. You do not have to go into the portal to find that question out.
Yeah, sure he's not.
If you go into the portal, even if you stay, you're going to lose future marketing deals. You're going to lose but if you stay in the portal and you sign your deal at Alabama or whatever it is, they're going to think, oh, he stayed here, we love him. It's going to increase your marketability down the road. If he goes in the portal and does the threaten to leave but still stays, it's going to hurt his long-term marketability. So nickel's worth of free advice is you can find out what your freaking number is without ever going in the portal. And just, again, with a premier player like that, you're a freaking idiot if you go in the portal, if you're playing for your home state. Okay, I'm going to use another one that's going to get rumored. Quinn Ewers his name is going to come up. Okay, if you want to leave, you better know where you're going and have the deal done before you go, before you even step in the portal. Because once you fill out those pieces of paper and you let after 48 hours and it goes in, you're cutting out stuff at home for when you're 45 years old. Okay, and when you're 45, 46 years old and they ask you to come back and be the give you a nice little cush $250,000, $300,000 job to come be the sideline commentary guy. Okay, you're going to lose those opportunities, and so you need to be. And Ryan Williams has that kind of magnetic. He can be that guy, and so he's actually.
But
he's
I wasn't
really marketable.
But I wasn't really focusing. I was using him as an example. I was just saying this is what's coming. It's what's coming, because if you're, I mean, I'm older than both of you guys, and I look at it and I think, what would I advise my son if he was a star on one of these playoff teams with years of eligibility left, looking at these numbers? I mean, yeah, we would try to do it privately, but yeah, I'd be like, hey, you should absolutely get your market value. I mean, while you can, because you play a violent sport where there are no guarantees. There are really talented football players every single season who get hurt, and they're not the same player on the other side of the injury, and their value goes. So I get what you're saying. I totally understand what both of you are saying, and I'm not really. I think we're getting too hung up on him. I'm just saying, in general, I think guys are going to see these numbers, and I think they're going to go jump in the portal.
That's happening.
And I think there's going to be.
Mine's more specific.
Ross Dellinger has a story today where the headline is basically a quote from someone where he says it's absolute bedlam, and I don't think we've fully scratched the surface of the bedlam.
No, we're at the tip of the iceberg with all this shit show. And listen, now I don't think Ryan's worth $10 million by any means. I mean, listen, he was a good player this year. Ryan had some bad drops as well, but now is he going to be able to get more than 1.5? Yeah, I think his market's probably about 2.5 to 3 is what somebody would pay him. But it's and then I'm looking at comments like this Allen guy, not to just call people out, but Allen on here keeps saying, if you're not a star, that point still holds true. Now stars can get generational money in college. True, but also not true, because a lot of these college kids, Alan, that you're not seeing behind the picture that we kind of explained yesterday, are getting schemed out of their freaking mind, and they don't have a clue where their money's going. They're signing bad contracts. They have bad advice from aunts and uncles and cousins that think they're all of a sudden an agent. They're signing bad, agent deals. They all of a sudden are getting hit by the IRS, and they don't know what the hell taxes are, and now they're having to pay that. Like, it ain't generational money for a lot of these kids. A lot of these kids are either blowing through it or they're getting schemed out of it because it's such a shit show that nobody knows what's going on. So I understand what you're saying, but also you got to see the bigger picture. It's not as nearsighted as you think.
Yeah. All right. While we're talking about, I'm just going to skip around a little bit. We'll finish this up, and then we'll cut it in half, and then we'll talk about the other. So, on this subject, I want to talk about this is, with the portal and stuff we didn't talk about yesterday is, Marshall withdrew from the bowl game, which we talked very briefly about. But, I think with the guys going in the portal and what you're going to see in bowl, we got bowl games starting pretty much. They started Saturday, but with Sunday NFL, they're bouncing around. So you're going to see bowl games every day starting right now. Memphis plays Memphis is playing West Virginia tonight at 8:00 in the Frisco Bowl. I will be almost shocked a little bit. The one thing I'm looking for, if you're betting on bowl games, God bless you guys. Somebody asked early who was that? Jeffrey, I think, in the Cooper Chevrolet chat asked me, I said, who you got tonight? Like, none of the above. If you don't bet on bowl games, man. Not the ones that don't count. I mean, that's rough life unless you're just completely bored. You're going to have, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the Power 5 teams when they play in bowl games, how many in-game injuries we have, how many hammies we have, how many guys are going to collect that check so they can play in the game, and when they come out. Like, hey, yeah, all of our guys are playing, how long are they playing? And is it going to be, if you're going to the draft anyway, or you're dipping or whatever it is, and all of a sudden you got to collect that check. So, and I think we've talked about it here on before, but I'm not saying all, but a bulk of the collective contracts are basically half of your money. So let's say for even complete number's sake, let's say somebody had a $1.2 million deal for the collective. They would get $600,000 broken up in monthly payments. So $50,000 a month. Okay. They would get a 25% of it. So $300,000 check after the first portal window closes. They would then receive another $300,000 check after the second portal window closes. That's pretty standard-ish for most contracts. And so if guys are dipping or guys are going, they're playing, they're going to hold on, play this last game so they can get their check. Some of it's tied to bowl games instead of the portal window, shit like that. So for the older guys. So that's kind of how that is. So I'm interested in seeing how many hammies we have at the end of the first, halfway through the first quarter. But Marshall having to withdraw their guys. I listened to an interview with the Marshall AD right after Huff left, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we got plenty to play." Da, 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 da. I was like, "Dog, not what I'm hearing." Like 30-something guys are bolting, and sure enough, they can't play. So that was crazy enough. Yesterday, Dave Clawson. Did y'all talk about this morning? I missed it if you did.
Nah, not really.
So Dave Clawson retiring from Wake Forest. He's shutting it down. Been the winningest coach. I think he's the winningest coach in school history there. Before his retirement age, he's just going to shut it down and go work in the university. He's done. I think he's tired of being at a Power 5 program that doesn't provide Power 5 resources, and it's already, I can't imagine. That's got to be one of the toughest Power 5 jobs, Power 4 now jobs there is, because you already have restrictions in recruiting for academics, and then all of a sudden to get any player that you got, you can't keep them. I don't know anything about how they're going to fund there when Rev Share comes in, but he's shutting it down. It's just sad. I think he's a hell of a ball coach. Kind of brought the slow mesh into play. So it was kind of, you're going to see they're the only ones running it, but it was kind of a fun offense to watch. And then I'm sure I think you did talk about this. Brian Kelly, Mike Gundy, and Mike Norvell all donating part of their salary back to the athletic department to help with Rev Share and help buy players. Is essentially what it is. I get the Mike Gundy one. It's interesting precedent that Brian Kelly and Mike Norvell set. Kelly's going to do $1 million match for NIL, and Mike Norvell, I think, was $4.5 million. I think was the number, and which was interesting because neither one of them had to do it, because I think they could both go 0-12 this year, and it'd be hard to fire them with their buyout. I think Kelly's buyout this coming season is going to be $52 million, and I think Norvell's is going to be 49, 48. And if they were to fire him after this next season, so I mean they're there. So I don't know. I don't know if it was just they got enough money now they can do it. I don't know what the story is there, but I'll be interested to see where these with Rev Share and new coaches, where these salaries go in the Power 5 and Power 4. Do the salaries start to come back down? What do you think, Scoops, on that? I'm curious. Do we have a settling?
I mean,
probably with the buyouts.
Probably. The only thing that if I were look. I've been saying this for a minute. Every single decision since the summer of 2020, without exception, has been pro-labor, pro-players. At the risk of getting into this whole thing again, which I really am not in the mood to do and don't have time to do, I don't know why, if I'm the players, I ever agree to anything. Because right now there's no limits, and so my only concern, if I were management at this point, is okay. So now, let's see what all we've done. We've made you can transfer unlimited times. Basically, there's really no limit on how much money you can make. It was supposed to be NIL. It's not NIL. It's salary. Okay, it's fine. I'm not criticizing. I'm showing you the trend. Hey, the fans are going to pay for your salary. The same fans who, hey, I think I said little Johnny and Jimmy alumni and their 2.7 kids who graduated from Tennessee, and they live in Nashville, and they're trying to drive to Knoxville 6-7 times a year, and got to pay for hotels or gas. The kids like to eat. Food's expensive. The tickets are now more expensive. Now to buy the tickets, you got to make a contribution to the alumni thingy, and now they're hitting me up. Hey, we got to. You like Nico, don't you? We got to keep paying for these players. If we want to win, we got to pay for the players. You like beating Alabama, don't you? Well, Alabama's buying players. We got to buy more players. You just keep hitting people up, and now you go to the next step. Hey, coach. Hey, coach. Why don't you give? Do you really need $10 million? Maybe he doesn't. But what's next? Hey, assistant coach Siskey. I know you're making $175. You could live on $145, right? So we just going to keep taking and keep. And at some point, I think, you get to a point where you're like, okay, well, that's the bridge too far. I keep thinking, man, we've driven a long way on this bridge. Like, where does this bridge stop? And I'm starting to think there is no stop. I'm starting to think that there is just no limit. That's why if I'm the, quote, players union, we're not negotiating anything. We just keep going because everything's going our way right now. I keep waiting for a player to go, hey, I'm in grad school. I'm in law school. I'm technically a student. I should still have eligibility. Why should I not be able to play more? I mean, if we're going to get to a place where I feel bad picking on this kid. Kudos to the kid for getting the money, okay? But if we're going to get to a place where an average SEC quarterback can make almost $3 million a year, which is more than their backup quarterbacks in the NFL, probably that's about their salary.
Yeah, probably a little less.
Okay. So why in the world would I not fight for my college eligibility to be extended?
Oh, that's so I think there are people holding on this Diego Pavia thing, hoping that if it goes through, I mean, dude, that's next.
Well, I mean,
I don't understand why if the whole issue is restricting earnings, right?
Yeah,
that's coming next.
So if the trend is going to where Pavia is going to win this lawsuit, and I have no idea, I'm not a legal scholar. I'm just not. I don't know. But
it's more based on JUCO though, being not
right. But if that's a step in that direction,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Every little step goes in the same damn direction. At some point, you get too far away to remember where you were, right? I mean, and I just kind of think that's where we're headed with it. I mean, so you're asking me, what do I think? I think it's a look. Does a college football head coach need to make $12 million? I mean, probably not. Now you get. I mean, if someone's going to pay you $12 million, that's what you're worth. Yeah. But when you're now saying to coaches, hey, listen, we didn't do so good, coach. We didn't do so good. And so what we're thinking is taking about half of your salary and buying some players with it. Or you can quit. I think that's a slippery slope. That's all. I think you start sliding down that path.
I think the new contracts may, I don't know. I say that, but you say that like in my brain.
Jimmy Sexton says,
that's what I'm saying.
Challenge accepted,
and he will win.
But I don't know.
He will win. He's the GOAT.
But you're right. To your point, this is where it's really interesting. To your point, this will be one of the most, because we're still really new in this. I mean, we're infancy stages. It will be really interesting to see the next iteration of coaches' contracts. What do they look like? Because now, here's what I think happens. I don't think the annual average value goes down. I think that
you start seeing more 3-year deals.
I think you start seeing more lesser deals, and you start seeing people go, ADs go, we're not rolling you over. I mean, the whole – because remember like when AJ was coming out and when you were recruiting, you needed to be able to sit down with mama and say, hey, listen, I know you really love Coach McCarron, and he's going to be there. He's got a 6-year contract at Alabama. He's going to be there the whole time that little Tommy's there. Now it's like, screw that. You don't need to know that Coach McCarron's going to be there for 6 years. Because if something goes wrong, man, you can transfer twice in the first year. So I think that's what you'll see with contracts.
Well, rev share, rev share saved Billy Napier this year.
Yeah.
And now they're happy with him because he won the last 3 games. He would have been fired probably after the Georgia game if there was no rev share.
100%.
For sure after the Texas game.
Two things saved him: rev share and DJ Lagway.
But even after the Texas game, he'd have been, one of those. He would have been fired if rev share wasn't around. And now they're happy. Now they're excited.
You've had Wendy's nugs dipped in sauce. Have you had them covered in sauce? Because Wendy's new saucy nugs take the crispy and spicy nugs you love, and they turn them up to 11. Not 11 million, just 11. Choose between flavors like buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, or if you're a real heat seeker, try spicy ghost pepper. Only on Wendy's signature spicy nugs. I dare you. That's 7 delicious ways to try the nugs you already love. Pick a flavor, grab some extra napkins, prepare to nug like you've never nugged before for a whole new way to nug. It's got to be Wendy's at participating U.S. Wendy's. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action with more than 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy so that your lineups stay in even if one of your players gets injured. If your player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks keeps your lineup live. So sign up today, get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. So pick your prop and cook up some hot takes with your friends. Win real money this football season when you and your crew run your game on Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use your code MPW to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app, use the code MPW to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
Scoops, AJ, it's your favorite part of the show. We're brought to you by Kia of Meridian. Are you looking for an unbeatable deal?
Always.
Kia of Meridian has you covered with rates as low as 1.9% on new rides. Whether it's the ever-popular Telluride, the Sorrento, the Sportage, or the K5, we've got something for everyone. Plus, a huge selection of new and used vehicles. And here's the best part. With any new or used vehicle purchase, you'll get a chance to do what, AJ?
Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel and win awesome prizes like a PS5, an Xbox, a TV, and more. Don't wait. Come by Kia of Meridian or call 601-483-6444 and drive away a winner today. Kia of Meridian.
Do you know if is it a Price is Right wheel where you reach up and pull it down?
Yes.
Or is it the Wheel of Fortune wheel where you spin it?
Did you get the text I sent you yesterday? I sent you I sent you a video of the spin the wheel commercial.
I'm hurt.
Well, he was asking about it.
I got the text. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, watched it. Yeah. So I'll send it to you.
You reach up and spin it?
It's a real wheel, man.
Hell yeah.
It's a real wheel.
I was busy looking up that car that one guy keeps posting, like, look up the K900. Look up the K900.
That's our guy. That's our guy, All Trav from Kia Meridian. That's him.
Well, Trav, I looked that sumbitch up, and it still says a 3.3 liter V6 is what.
He's probably got a V8.
Yeah. Okay.
He's probably got a V8.
It says they made it in 2020. Do they still make that car?
I don't know. Ask him.
Trav, I can't do that. I appreciate it.
He likes fast cars. AJ likes fast cars.
Fast.
He's got like 400 yards to drive fast. I don't even know why. Why do you get so many fast cars?
I have a ton of back roads back here.
All right.
All in the country, baby.
Don't be telling anybody. All right. Let's get to the college football playoffs. We're gonna talk about the games. We got 4 games starting on Friday night. We have Indiana, the Hoosiers, the Fighting Hoosiers, my guys, traveling to Notre Dame. Notre Dame is favored by 7 points. The total is 51.5. I'll give my little deal, and then y'all can go see what you guys think. So here's my deal: is Notre Dame, in my opinion, Notre Dame is a matchup team. I think Notre Dame's really good. Has really just since the second week of the season, they've actually improved every single week. Offensively, I think what they've done in the running game has been very impressive. That's their deal. They can run the football and they can stop the run. That's what they're built on. I think Marcus Freeman's done a great job there. Their weakness, if they got one, is in pass defense. I think they're very good in the front seven. I think their back end is suspect. When they get tested, you can kind of see some of that. You saw some of that in the USC game, but when they get tested over the tops, when they get hurt. And so a way to kind of the game plan to beat these guys is you got to figure out how to stop the run, keep Riley Leonard from beating you with big plays on play action when you load the box, and you got to find a way to stretch the field. I think Indiana can do that offensively. I think Indiana's going to struggle to stop the run. My play here, I think this may be sneakily one of the best games of the weekend. I think Indiana, I can't describe this to you. This is one of those games where Cignetti's in his first year, man, he has got – these guys are playing at a whole different level. He has got these guys believing. I wouldn't even be shocked terribly with an Indiana upset here. I think they can do it. I'm definitely probably taking Indiana on the points for sure. Wouldn't be surprised if Indiana wins this game. Just for the matchup purposes, because what they can do offensively. Love, and I see people going the other way. Brian in the Tuber Chevrolet chat says love the under. I see Michael Mosley says under 51.5. I actually like the over 51.5. I think this is a higher scoring game, and I think Indiana can probably pull one out or stay close in a shootout. What about you, AJ?
I'm taking Indiana.
Like straight up or with the points?
I don't understand all that shit you just said, but I just say.
Do you think Indiana will win the game or lose by 7 or less?
I think they win the game. I think I would say 3-7.
So you think
in that range.
Indiana wins the game by 3 to 7 points?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, AJ's money line guy.
AJ's taking the Indiana money line.
All right, what you got, Scoops?
Well, I was looking up the weather in South Bend.
It is going to be in the 20s with a chance of snow.
I don't think it affects either one of them.
Yeah, that's what they do. It's Indiana.
And
well, I was thinking about the
now old Notre Dame field, high grass type of day, like that's different, but they both play on turf. So
Friday, where's the? Quit trying to jump on me. There we go. Friday, snow showers early. Chance of snow 60%, high of 33, low of 21. Both those teams are kind of used to it.
Yeah, they're both Indiana teams.
I'm actually higher on Notre Dame than most people. I think Notre Dame wins. 7 feels like a lot of points in a playoff game. If you made me pick, I think I'd take the Irish and lay the points.
Okay, we're all over the place then. I'm Notre Dame. I'm Indiana plus 7. AJ's money line, and you're Notre Dame minus 7. But yeah, I just think like, dude, I believe in Cignetti, man. I do. I believe in Sig. Their staff is amazing. What they've done is short of a freaking miracle. Yeah, I'm in on the Hoosiers in this game, but like I'm not going to be. I probably will sprinkle money line if I do anything on here. Surprisingly, I will tell you this. I think Notre Dame it has a better matchup versus Georgia than they do Indiana, matchup wise, because I don't think Georgia can stretch the field vertically and attack them in the passing game, and then in like Indiana can, and I think it can keep the game a lower scoring game. Now at the same time, I think that game I don't even care what the line is. If Notre Dame wins this game, I'm immediately whenever they post lines, I'm blindly taking the under in the Georgia Notre Dame game if they play. I think that's going to be a low-scoring game, but it would match up would probably be a little tighter. You're probably going to get good value there. All right, the SMU Mustangs SMU traveling to State College, Pennsylvania, taking on the Penn State Nittany Lions. Penn State is favored by 8.5. That means Penn State can win they're saying Penn State is going to win the game by 8.5 points. What Vegas is saying. The total is 53. 53.5. Weather in this game is going to be in the 30s, clear in the 30s, okay? So everybody's concerned about weather. Weather doesn't seem to be an option, problem here. All right, where I'm at with this game. I think the thing you got to look for in this game is the line of scrimmage. I think you're going to see very similar than what you saw in the conference championship game with this one against Clemson. SMU is going to struggle offensively up front against Penn State's front. Then on the other side of the ball, I actually think SMU's defensive line is okay. I think they can hold in a little bit. With all that being said, I sat there and watched Penn State's offensive line move Oregon. By the way, do you know who gets Sensitive Fan of the Week award? Is the Oregon Duck fans. Oregon Duck fans very sensitive on TikTok. I mean, just very sensitive. Cole posted a clip from one of our shows a couple weeks ago talking about Oregon. Boy, they were sensitive. Because when I said that the D-line got moved, they did not like that. They were I'm talking about very sensitive, like, welcome. I'm glad you're so sensitive. But I think the line of scrimmage will be key here. I do think SMU skill-wise, particularly on the perimeter, has an advantage here. Does Penn State just ground and pound? No diddy on SMU in this game. 8.5 seems about right. 7 to 10 points is kind of where I was at with that. But I'm a SMU Pony fan. I will probably bet with my heart and not my head here. I do think SMU can score. Maybe they can backdoor McCready one here or pull upset. I just think they do have an advantage at the skill positions. But up front's all going to be all Penn State, and usually in tight games you take the team in big games you take the team that's better up front. So Penn State will have an advantage obviously there at home. What do you got there, AJ?
I like Penn State.
All right.
And
all right. What about the line? 8.5.
I think they beat them by 10 plus.
Okay, so AJ would take Penn State minus 8.5.
Same. I don't even think this is going to be a particularly close game
because of the line of scrimmages.
Yeah, I think Penn State's pretty good. I'm not sold on SMU. I think they have benefited from schedule. I think they're a good team. I think weather will be a factor here a little bit. I think SMU going and playing in the cold is going to negate them a little bit. I like Penn State kind of big.
Okay. The Clemson Tigers, America's team, the Clemson Tigers. Did you know that? It's America's team. Traveling to Austin, Texas to take on the Texas Longhorns. The Texas Longhorns are favored by 11.5 points. The total is 51.5. Same total as Indiana Notre Dame. Total is 51.5. Look, I will be 100% pulling for Clemson. 100%. America's team. Hashtag America's team. My guy Matt Luke's there. John Gross is there. My guy Rumpf is there. You know, got all my buddies there. Be pulling for them. With that being said, I do not see a single matchup that they, across the board, that they have an advantage in. They're going to have to shrink the game. They're going to have to find a way to get stops, shrink the game, and keep it close in the fourth quarter and try to find a way to figure it out. You know, I think with injuries, with Clemson, with the injuries, they're going to get some guys back, but they're still beat up, particularly at running back and the offensive line areas. Just it may be too much, you know, to overcome. But I'm pulling for them. I want them to. They're just going to have to find a way. Basically, they're going to have to find a way to coach this thing to the. That's what I like to call it. We're going to have to find a way to coach this thing to the fourth quarter and try to make a play. That's kind of like the path to a victory there for Clemson, in my opinion. Is trying to coach this thing to the fourth quarter and then find a way to make a play or two. That's about the only. I'm pulling for them. I just don't see a matchup.
What's the line?
11.5.
I like Texas minus the points.
The only thing I would say, and again, I'm not disagreeing with you. Clemson, Texas has disappointed when they've been this kind of favorites.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Arkansas.
Yeah.
You would said the same thing. We all did. Arkansas week, Mississippi State week, 10-point game. Like
hell, what, Vandy probably? What were they favoring in Vandy?
Yeah, they were 1 by 3 at Vandy. And so but
they went toe-to-toe in their last one, though. And that last one with a lot on the line, they went toe-to-toe against a really physical, big tough Georgia team. I don't think Clemson can do at the line of scrimmage what Georgia was able to do, and that's what kept Georgia in that game. And I just think Clemson. I think Texas is going to be too much.
Yeah.
I think the same. I like Texas. What do you say? Minus the points.
It's minus 11
minus,
half.
minus.
Minus points. You're learning.
Yeah, I like Texas. I think you would hope that the Texas of old doesn't show up to where you don't know what damn Texas football team you're going to get. You would hope
they
being
got
a home game.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. Hopefully, that's my deal. Right? Is like I felt, and we've said this all season. I felt like even in like what I would consider spots where teams should be motivated and understand what's on the line, it's been a roller coaster season. I don't, even in big games, like in no way, form or fashion in the past does Alabama lay an egg at Oklahoma. In no way, form or fashion does Ole Miss lay the egg at Florida. Now early in the season, I get it. Like the Kentucky thing, I get that. But like late in the year when it's on the line, there were several teams that just kind of didn't really show up.
But that was tight team versus nothing to lose team. Now you got tight teams.
Yeah, and then you saw like Ohio State playing Michigan. They played that damn game tight as hell.
And Michigan had nothing to
lose.
Yep.
And now it's like –
you see this in Major League Baseball all the time, right? Into the season, the team that is fighting for the division title is playing a team full of prospects that's 27 and a half games out, and they lose.
Yeah.
I mean, the team of prospects is like, hey, we're just playing baseball today. Let's just go play baseball. Let's have fun. And the other team is like, oh, my God, we've got to move the runner over. We've got to win this game. They're watching the scoreboard. Oh, shit, Philadelphia won. We can't lose. You get a little tighter at the plate. And the other team's just like, oh, I'm just going to go play baseball. I'm going to go play. And the looser team wins a lot. So I think that's out the window in playoffs. Although if you're Clemson, it's kind of free shot, house money. Nobody thought you'd get there, so maybe. I just think Texas is pretty physical.
I think from a game plan standpoint, you're going to see early in the game, you're going to see Texas is going to attempt to establish the run very early. And if Texas,
if they can do that,
you're going to look at a Texas A&M type game, right? To where I don't think Clemson is as good on defense as Texas A&M is, right? But that's kind of how that game went. You never felt that game was close ever, but it was a 10-point game. But you never felt that game was close because they were able to just shove it down their throat and run it like they wanted to in that game. So I think they're going to try to do that, but we'll see come.
I am interested to see how short of a line Quinn Ewers is on.
I don't think it's going to be very short.
I wouldn't be surprised if Quinn's struggling and throwing the ball, if Arch goes in.
All right, we'll come back to that one. We'll come back.
All right, before you get to this last one, let me tell you, after years of fine print contracts and getting ripped off by overpriced wireless providers, if we've learned anything, it's that there's always a catch. So when I heard that all Mint Mobile wireless plans are $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan, I thought, what's the catch? But after talking to them, it all made sense. There isn't one. Mint Mobile's secret sauce is that they sell wireless service online. They don't have retail stores or salespeople. Instead, they deliver premium phone plans directly to you. So say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. All plans come with high-speed data, unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan. Bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. You can ditch overpriced wireless with Mint Mobile and get 3 months of premium wireless service for $15 a month. To get this new customer offer and your 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/MPW. That's mintmobile.com/MPW. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/MPW. $45 upfront payment required. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speeds slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. And when you get through doing that, head over to wherever you get your beer, whether it's a bar, grocery store, package store, whatever the case may be, just walk in and say, excuse me, sir, madam, I am looking for Parish Brewing Company. I need Parish Brewing Company products. And they will say, you must be one fine connoisseur of beers, because at Parish Brewing Company, which is located right there in Broussard, Louisiana, their simple goal, it's not complicated. It's make awesome craft brewed beer, and by God, they do it. They've got Dr. Juice. It's your go-to IPA, 6% ABV, fantastic. My favorite beer, maybe in the whole world, Ghost in the Machine. It's a double IPA brewed with obscene quantities of hand-selected Citra hops from their favorite farm right there in Yakima Valley, Washington. It's all Parish Brewing products. You'll love them. So, again, Parish Brewing Company, wherever you get your beer.
Let's go. All right, last game. I'll come back to the deal. The Tennessee Vols are traveling to Columbus, Ohio, to take on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Buckeyes. Ohio State is favored by 7, and the total is 47.5. And as I said that total, because AJ has no idea about lines, AJ gave me the I am taking the Tennessee Vols to win outright.
Yep.
I think from a tempo standpoint, offensive line play has been okay, but the defensive line play has been okay on the other end. I like the matchups, man. I do. I like the matchups. I like Tennessee's front seven to get after Will Howard. I like Tennessee's front to contain the run. I like Tennessee's tempo. I like Dylan Sampson.
You want a hot take?
That's where I'm going next.
Okay.
All right. So in the event that what I'm saying it comes true, I think Tennessee wins the game outright. How long after that game do we have to hear about Ryan Day getting fired?
So I have 2 hot takes.
That was you didn't have that one, did you? Now you added that one.
Kind of had it. But
Can I guess what your hot take is going to be?
Sure.
That Tennessee makes it to the national championship game and wins it.
Ooh.
I wasn't even going to go there, but I won't be surprised. My hot take is Tennessee in a blowout.
Okay.
And Ohio State fires Ryan Day.
Would it take a blowout to fire him?
So define blowout.
I think if he loses, there's serious conversation about firing him.
There's no question. If they lose, even if they lose on like some 60-yard field goal at the end, dude, there's going to be serious conversations about firing him. I know the money and all that. I'm just telling you. And Ross, Tyler loves you, and I like you.
Ross is my guy.
But I've been down the road.
This may not be Ross's choice.
Well, that's where I'm going with this. I've been down the road with Ross Bjork on game week where they weren't doing something, and then they did it because somebody else said this is what you're doing.
Tell you what else Ross did. Hey, Ross, I don't give a shit what they say about you, Ross. First of all, it's Jesus, my family, and then Ross Bjork. If it wasn't for Ross Bjork, AJ, we wouldn't have a company right now. Let's go, Ross Bjork.
But so I think if it's a blowout, and I think a blowout would be by Ohio State standards, anything in the double digits, Tennessee by double digits, and especially if we start talking 14, 17, 20 points, which I think is very likely, I think they're firing him.
All right, so here's my thing, right? And this is why.
Question is, who do you get?
Wait, that's where I'm going next. I got questions, right? So here's my first thing: is why am I picking Tennessee? Tennessee kind of has, it's weird in a weird way. They have a free shot. There's no pressure on them. They're kind of the third SEC team in. Everybody's talking Texas. Everybody's talking Georgia. They just kind of snuck in there. No, they didn't sneak in. They deserve to be there. I'm just saying that everybody's talking Texas. Everybody's talking Georgia, right? They are the longest odds to actually win the national championship. All right. They were plus 2,500. Just saying, guys, plus 2,500. Your boy in the Quick U shirt is going sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. All right, so on plus 2,500 to win it all. All right, now here's the deal. Ohio State played as tight as humanly possible that you can play in the Michigan game. And so for the last, 3 weeks, it's been, are we going, Ryan Day, and the pressure is going to be immense. And when that's when you play tight. And they could not do anything against Michigan's defense. And I think Michigan has a great defense. I don't think they're as good as Tennessee. If they struggle to score in this game, Tennessee will outscore them because Tennessee's going to get theirs.
Yeah.
Tennessee's going to get theirs.
I'm not sure Ohio State can get its.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, if they play tight, now if they don't play tight, they can score a bunch. They got dudes now.
Yeah, I know.
They can score, but like
I'm
if
worried
they play
about
tight,
I'm
they
worried
can get
about their
boat raced.
ability to block.
What's the weather like though?
It's going to be.
Do we know?
Yeah, it's going to be.
I'll get you an updated forecast.
And it's a night game too, so I think it was in the 20s and clear.
Shoo.
But it gets cold in Knoxville. They're
Dude,
used to
I'm
cold.
not worried about cold weather. It would be.
Yeah, but listen, that weather up there, I don't give a shit. It's different. Look, I promise you. I played, Cincinnati, Cleveland. Like that weather up there is different. It can be. Cincinnati's not as bad, but Cleveland.
29 and clear.
So Saturday in Columbus.
Saturday night.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting to it. Sun in the morning, increasing clouds during the afternoon, high around 30, a low of 16, but there's no talk of precipitation.
Cold.
Precipitation, 4% chance.
Wind?
Wind 9 miles per hour out of the northwest.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, getting hit, catching the ball, Nico slinging one, hitting your hands, and that ball feels like a brick all of a sudden because of the weather, like it being super cold. Like I'm just telling you. But I think if Tennessee can establish the run, if they can run the football, I think with Ohio State and having, not gone against Tennessee, Heupel from his alignments from a receiver standpoint, their X and Z being 2 yards from the sideline.
I haven't seen that. You know what I mean? That's an adjustment, and they have.
That's a big time adjustment right there. Like now you have a nickel, or if you're in base and you're having to spread out, and they're more into open area that they're not used to being in. I mean, it messes with dudes on defense when you have guys alignment way out that wide. Like I think that's gonna be tough. And
I will say this: you just got me thinking. Ohio State does have, I think, 2 players in the back end that have played against Tennessee. I know Caleb Downs has. Okay.
Yeah.
So Caleb Downs did, and did Scoops was Igbenogson, was he at Ole Miss on the mustard game when they threw the mustard and stuff at Tennessee?
Yeah, Davison was in that game.
Was he in that game? So you got the corner and the safety that's seen it, but it's the different. I mean, you haven't seen it in a while. It'll be different.
I like Davison.
Particularly in the
when they thin out the box, when Tennessee thins the box out and plays teams where they're not used to playing them with those alignments by the receivers, like it's different. And I think if Tennessee can establish the run, I still like Tennessee in this game. I think you're going to hear the boo birds coming out if Ohio State gets the ball first and goes 3 and out. I think, shit might hit the fan quick.
Yeah, there is somebody mentioned the Cooper Chevrolet chat. Somebody mentioned that there is this thing online where it's talking about how many Tennessee fans have bought tickets. I mean, it was something crazy.
More than 20,000.
Something like I saw where like they somehow got a promo code or something and bought up a bunch of allotment of tickets and all that stuff. So it'd be interesting to see how they're going to show up. We know they're going to show up, but all right. So here's my thing, and I'll say this. First of all, I personally think it's preposterous to get rid of Ryan Day, even if he loses. I think it's preposterous. All right, that's one. 2 is warning word of the wise. If the noise is going to get, I mean, you're the AD, but when you're at Ohio State or somewhere like that, the noise may get so loud that Ross has no choice. But I'm just telling you, if it happens, you better know if that's the road you decide to go down. You better know who's coming in the door before that happens. Yeah. You better know who's coming in the door. There better not be, because you don't. That's not you better know exactly who's coming in the door when you make that decision, and that's the world we're in right now. So it doesn't need to be like I'm going to open up a search and start doing a coaching search. No, there's no coaching search for jobs like that. You got to know going through the door. Like when Nick Saban retires, hey, it's going to be Sark, Dan Lanning, and if they don't take it, then we're gonna go call Kalen DeBoer. I mean, you better know how far down the line you got to go before you get an answer. And going about your life that way. All right. I'm gonna wrap this thing up. So for the Scoops and I talked yesterday.
Hold on, what was the Quinn thing? We didn't finish that.
Oh, we'll go back to the Quinn thing. So here would be my Texas synopsis. I think Quinn will have to. I think we talked. I guess, did you ask me on the show or was it off the air yesterday?
I can't remember.
All right, Scoops asked me at some point in time. I don't remember if it was on the show or off the show.
It had to be off the show.
I don't think Quinn Ewers is going to be at Texas next year. I think he will either be in the NFL or in another program. Okay, there are multiple crazy number and multiple crazy offer stuff on that from other schools, or he'll go to the NFL. I'm sure he'll make a decision. As far as, there's a reason why Arch Manning is number 2, and that's from inside the building. And I think Quinn Ewers will be the starter until he proves otherwise. I think it would have to be something detriment before that's well sourced before Arch goes in the game, unless it's for running stuff.
Yeah, but he was struggling. He was struggling in the Georgia game, and he pulled him out for 2 series.
Yeah, settle him down, then you put him back in. I'm with you,
right? But that's because Arch didn't score. If Arch drives down on that opening or the second series and Texas scores,
but he didn't.
I know, but I think it's a different story. I'm just saying. I think it's just a feeling I have watching Sark after plays, to where Sark the camera goes right back to him. Sark seems like he's questioning, like he's talking to whoever is listed as the OC or QB coach. And at one point during that game, the SEC championship, I mean, you can see Sark say, "What the fuck is he doing?" Like, after he made a read. So it's I think Sark's in a deal to where Sark calls his game, but if Quinn's not seeing the same things, I think Sark is kind of questioning play calling when it comes to that situation, and questioning Quinn's decision making. I don't think it's that much of a longer rope that you think. For some reason, I just think it's shorter.
We shall see.
Yep.
All right. So just to update everybody. So this will be, we will have no show on Thursday. No Make It Rain Thursday. So this will be the last show of the week. And we will have our annual at 6 p.m. At 6 p.m. on Sunday. We will have a live show at 6 p.m. on Sunday. Live show, and we will have AJ will join us. We will have guests. We can announce some guests here. We have been locked in, confirmed with 2 guests, barring any changes. But right now, we have a guest schedule. Taylor Moore, professional PGA golfer. Taylor Moore, he won the Valspar last year. He was in the PGA. He's a fan of the show. Listens to the show. Followed us on social media. I hit him up. I'm all in. We've never had a PGA golfer on here, so I'm excited. I got all kinds of questions. Our good friend Lawrence Tynes, that he's been on our show before, kick for the Giants, kick for the Chiefs, Pro Bowl kicker, will be on the show, and we'll have calls and all that good stuff. So we'll have a great show. Diet Millers will be flowing. We got to get Scoops cranking up on the ghosting machine. We'll be rocking and rolling. And then AJ, you will have to partake in your favorite drink of choice on Sunday night, because if it's just how we do things on the call.
Well, listen, man, I hardly ever drink, so the swear jar is already going to be filled up, because there's no telling what I'll be saying.
Okay, just tell Catherine you're sorry in advance.
Yeah.
All right,
I'll have some Tito's.
In case you can't find Catherine, okay, in case you can't find her to ask her, what you can drink, send her to PTG Outdoors, where they have Garmin. You can discover your Garmin and GPS, all of your Garmin tools at PTG Outdoors. From cycling to running watches to tax indoor cycling, Garmin brings innovation to your fitness journey. You can track health metrics, explore maps, and enjoy GPS precision from cycling, golf, and outdoor adventures. Dive deeper with swim tracking, train smarter with dog tracking tools, and monitor performance on land and water. Explore Garmin's range, including smartwatches, scales, and advanced off-road instruments. Available now at ptgoutdoors.com. Scoops, we've also been brought to you by Kia of Meridian. Are you looking for an unbeatable deal, AJ? Kia of Meridian has you covered with rates as low as 1.9% on new rides. Whether it's the ever-popular Telluride, the Sorrento, the Sportage, or the K5, we've got something for everyone. Plus, a huge selection of new and used vehicles. And guess what, Scoops? With any newer vehicle purchase, you know what you get to do?
I do.
You get to spin the wheel and win great prizes like a PS5, an Xbox, a TV, and more. Don't wait. Come by Kia of Meridian or call 601-483-6444 and drive away a winner today. Kia of Meridian, your road, your ride, your deal. I need to get with Trav. I can't believe we did a Kia Meridian commercial and I didn't get to say, spin the wheel on the commercial. That would have been great. I'd been all in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Been great. So.
You should have transitioned the Garmin for old buddy in the chat to find his way back down to his mom's basement. That would have been.
I'll send him home.
Yeah, that keyboard warrior. Good Lord.
We had some trolls?
Yeah, we had a couple. That was one in particular.
Okay.
Yeah,
he needed a Garmin.
He was. He was.
And it would have clicked on life, and he needed to find one.
Good point.
Yeah.
He's walking around going, "Hey Siri, help me find life."
Yeah.
That's all I got today, boss.
Siri just popped up. Life balance. Yes.
That some bitch he ain't got Siri. He's on Cricket. Yeah. Cricket Mobile.
He doesn't have Siri.
No.
We've been brought to you by Rain Total Body Fuel, 300 milligrams natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits, achieve your goals. Check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more. For AJ McCarron, for Tyler Siskey, I'm Neal McCready. See you on Sunday. Take care.